Hi, Shirley. So we are back in the studio now with this little episode of The Sound of Healing with a little bonus chapter because as soon as we got off from our main interview, we started talking about um, the effect that the sound baths have had on you so far. And I thought this was kind of important information to share with everybody since we are talking about the healing power of sound and the sound of healing. So
Yes.
go ahead and yeah, let me just ask that question again. What have you experienced after coming to a few sound baths, and what is the experience like, and what have you noticed afterwards?
Well, I noticed that after the sound bath, my dreams were pleasant. They were, I enjoyed them, and I felt like had restful sleep. It's just, like a deep sleep that's healing. And it's been a while since I've had a sound bath, and I've noticed that the stress has intensified in the dreams. And I recently renewed my license for to do some testing at the former school site, and I'm willing to go back and work with students one-on-one. But I've noticed that my dreams have become more stressful, and I find myself having dreams about fighting with students, trying to get control of the classroom, and they just haven't been pleasant. But at the same time, I noticed that they are not as chaotic as they used to be before I had been to a few sessions with the sound baths. So I know the sound baths have really made a difference as far as stressful situations in my sleep, and then also with being able to sleep, soundly, and getting good, rest. So I have, purchased two more sound bath sessions, and looking forward to, having pleasant dreams, and um, it just makes a difference to be able to sleep. And
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, if people have never had a problem with sleeping or insomnia, then they just don't get it. I mean, I probably had, years of just insomnia starting when I was about 50 years old. And, probably uh, for too long. I mean, probably 7 or 8 years where it was just hard to sleep. And the main problem was just my brain not being
Mhm.
able to slow it down, not being able to stop thinking. Uh, and one of the things that sound sound therapy does, and this is scientifically proven, is that the vibrations of the sound and the bowls helps you entrain the brain, so they actually slow the brain waves down and put you in from a very busy state, to a very very relaxed brainwave state. And there are four types of brain waves, and I always get them mixed up: alpha, delta, and all of that. But the sound actually just brings your mind down to a very relaxed level, and in so doing that, it's also stimulating your vagus nerve, and also helping your entire nervous system to relax. So through the ear, it's really interesting. But through the ear connects with the vagus nerve, which is a nerve that connects your whole body and all the organs.
Mhm.
And through audio stimulation, it can affect all of the organs. And so, yeah, we become very very relaxed, sleep a lot better. I think I was telling you that the other night I was just had a bundle of emotions, and I thought, well, I don't feel like talking. I don't know what to do. I went in here and I started playing my gong, and I just started rolling on my gong, and it just felt so good to do it. And that shimmering sound and those vibrations, um, all of a sudden I got up and I was like, I'm fine now. I feel fine, and I went to bed and I slept great. And it's the same sensation I have sometimes when and I've done this forever, which was whenever I needed to get emotion out, or I had stuck emotion growing up, situation where uh, I was upset. Maybe my parents were having an argument or something, I couldn't do anything to stop it. I would just go play the piano, and that's always been my source of, my own music therapy. So I
Yes.
guess I've been a music therapist for a long time to myself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I know that you've been researching some things about music therapy and sound therapy on your own. What have you learned from that so far?
Well, I've learned, just how music and sound has great healing powers. And as you mentioned, as far as the videos that I've watched talked about, just how it does help with emotions. And I found myself thinking about how I would play music in my classroom. And it did make a difference for me as well as for my students. And so also just um, thinking about the power of music to well, I feel like I want to listen to music more. And it talked to, some of the videos talked about just how it helps us to thrive and do well, and how it does help the nervous system. It helps with the hormones in our bodies. A lot of people know about, dopamine and all those things, and just how music tends to, increase that. But more and more people are finding out the benefits of music. And like one video mentioned that athletes are wearing earbuds and listening to certain rhythms are helping them to run faster, and they're using it to help them
Right.
to run faster. But then other people would use it to help them to calm down.
Right.
And just using music to help patients before they go into surgery to relax, and they're not very anxious about what's going to happen. And then one video showed the power of healing for a newborn, a premature born baby, and just how with the mother playing music that she played when the baby was in the womb, it helped the baby to thrive. But not only her baby, but the other babies in the area were thriving as well. And it's like, this is great. But one of my daughters is a speech language pathologist, and I shared a video with her because it said that stroke victims are able to remember a lot through the power of singing. And I know she's a singer. She likes music, and just thinking about her, singing with some of her patients would be, beneficial, as well as speaking. She really tries to speak the language of the patient as well. But for her to be able to use music in helping stroke victims and helping people to be able to speak, because this one video said that this man had lost his wife and he was grieving, and he hadn't spoken to anyone. Like you said, you didn't want to talk to anyone. He hadn't spoken to anyone for months and didn't want to see his family. And she went and played her piano for the residents at that place, and he started singing the song that she was playing. And she was feeling like she hadn't made a difference, but a nurse told her that she had made a great difference with this man. He was singing, he wanted to see his family, all because of her playing
Wow.
the piano. And so it's like, oh, and again, the different videos talked about how it's so important for us to have music in the schools. And unfortunately, those are the arts get cut out, but it's what we need emotionally, especially with so many people now feeling lonely, and just what the damage that has been done, because of COVID and that isolation, and just how much more now people need
Right.
music.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes.
So, as you know, I've been a musician a long time, but now I'm much more intentional about creating music that is sort of therapeutic and helps people on sort of an emotional journey, well, the spiritual journey. And certainly the sound therapy I'm doing is also meant to really help people deal with stuck emotions and just having this inability to relax and really needing extra support for that, because I know I have definitely been there as well. So
Yeah, and I know that, with some of your sessions, as far as just having that spiritual connection, this book, Anatomy of the Soul, has talked about that as well, as far as just, being able, that God is a God of emotions. And we need to know how to, you know, understand our emotions and what we're feeling, but to understand that God wants to connect with us on an emotional level, and too many times we haven't learned how to express our emotions or deal with them. But it means
well,
really being able to understand them more and to
yeah,
connect with them.
I think emotions oftentimes, we get so many mixed messages about what
Right.
to do with them. Should we just ignore them? If we ignore them, do they just go away? Do we stuff them? Or do we honor them?
Yes.
Do we honor them and know that, they're here for a reason and they're telling us something. And we can bring them up and learn a little bit more about ourselves.
Right.
Uh,
Yes.
and so I think part of the things that I like to do in the sound bath is kind of lead people to an awareness of, how the sound is affecting their body, but also sometimes emotions will also affect certain parts of our body, and this can all kind of be uh, part of a sound bath where you have all of a sudden you have sort of these epiphanies about,
Mhm.
what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. And at that point, you can really begin to process things or release things or let them go or,
Right.
detach. And
Right.
so it's really a beautiful, beautiful process, I think, to go through. So again, thank you for coming. And for anybody listening out there, if you'd like to join a sound bath, please go to my website, musicbliss.org, and sign up for a virtual sound bath. Anywhere in the world, you can join us online for the next sound bath, which I believe is February 23rd. Yes. And we'd love to have you, and also doing some in-person ones here in Claremont. So thanks again, Shirley. And
Thank you.
yeah, I hope you are, enjoying this journey in wellness that you're
Yes.
taking. You're doing so many great things. So, okay.